Georgia Southern Athletics here with head coach Jeff Monken. The practices are winding down before the spring game. Coach, you reminded your guys there's not a lot of time for spring ball, even preseason. How important is it to make the most of what you have?
I've talked to these guys every day since I've been here about making the most of every day. It's disappointing when we don't. And we had the same conversation on Saturday. I didn't think the effort was as good as it should have been, and I didn't think it was to start practice today. And a lot of it has to do with we're really short at some lines, and guys are getting tired, and others is just not having the right attitude and mentality when they come out here. So hopefully we're going to get that squared away on Thursday.
One of the things that you also talk about is giving as much effort as possible. You've not been happy with that. What are some of the things that you can do to remind them how much of a gift it is to play the game of football?
I think just the opportunity to play should be enough. And I wasn't a good enough player to take for granted any rep or any opportunity I had. There were guys a lot better than me, and if I was going to have a chance to play, I was going to have to give it everything I had. And I guess I see the potential in the guys that are talented. If they'll give it every bit of effort they've got, how good they can be and how good we can be as a team. And I know no other way than to just hold them accountable. And if they don't play with great effort in a scrimmage where we're competing, then there's consequences for it. They got to run extra or do something extra to try to remind them.
You alluded to it a little bit earlier. We do have a lot of guys in red. Our colors almost for the school could be blue, white, and red at this point. A lot of crutches, a lot of surgeries from previous injuries. How are you managing that as a coach in terms of getting as much as you can out of these reps?
Try not to focus at all on the injuries, and we can't worry about it. It's going to happen during the season. Guys get hurt. It's part of football, and the other guys need to be ready to step up. And I think there should be even that much greater sense of urgency out of those guys that aren't in red to make sure they know where to line up and that they're playing hard and they're doing the best they can, because they very well could be in the game on Saturday.
Speaking of that, Coach, we do have the spring game Saturday. You mentioned that there's not going to be a true draft this year. What's the format of this weekend's game going to look like?
We'll have offense against defense. We'll include some special teams plays. We have a number of scouts that we brought out this spring that have been serving us in our offense and defense here at practice, and they're doing a good job. And we'll let them be the scouts and special teams in the game on Saturday. But our offense and defense will line up on opposite sidelines, and there'll be scoring opportunities for both teams, not just in the traditional ways of scoring touchdowns and field goals and PATs and safeties, but for 3 and outs on defense, for turnovers on defense, forcing a field goal when the ball starts inside a certain yard mark on offense, explosive plays that are a good number of yards that they gain on one play, consecutive first downs. And so hopefully it's going to make it competitive. We've never done that before. It's the first time, but we did consult as a staff, and Coach Curtis and Coach Corliss did that at Arkansas State a few years, and where they just didn't have enough guys, and they did offense against defense, and they said it was a pretty competitive game. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. Hopefully it'll be a good competitive matchup.
Just based on the points for defense alone, I think some of your guys from previous years might want to come back to play this weekend. But Coach, we appreciate your time with Georgia Southern Athletics. 1 o'clock Saturday, the blue-white spring game. Come out and support your Eagles. Don't forget, wear 80s gear to be a part of the Irk movie.
I hope there'll be a lot of people out there. This is always an exciting day for our kids, and they really enjoy getting a chance to go out there in front of a crowd, and I'm excited for them.